one never sees me. I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me? I'm losing every battle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Battle2be podcast. This is our third episode. And before we get started, I want to let you know that we are always live, always unscripted, and always unedited. Okay. And as a side note to that, please know that we do not hold back from any of the dark conversations. We talk about all of the worst parts of human experience, and we hold nothing back. So for those of you who do have trauma triggers, I will give you a warning right now ahead of time that I know this evening we are going to be talking about the aftermath of 9/11. We are going to be talking about the experiences that officers have in their day-to-day lives, which may include domestic violence and child abuse and any of those kind of experiences. We are also going to be talking about officer suicide. So if any of those topics feel unsafe for you, please feel free to leave right now. And we still, of course, love you and know that some of our other shows will absolutely be for you. So again, be safe, be healthy, be comfortable, and we are always here for you. Tonight, I have with me an amazing person who is going to give you some fantastic information about the fight against officer suicide. Here with me tonight is Steve Mauriello of the NYPD.
And
he has his own podcast that he's going to tell you about at the end, because I want to make sure that you guys do not miss the celebration of his 100th episode. So first off, I like to give people an opportunity to see all of my military and officers and firemen and EMTs and all of these people who have these jobs that people see as us and them. I want people to see that you are just like them, and you have a human side, and you have a family, and you have activities that you love. So tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Steve Mauriello. Nice to meet you, everybody. I guess I would say I was been through a lot. So the first thing I would say is I'm a police officer, a deputy inspector at NYPD, 31 years on the job, and I run and I worked in anti-terrorism. So from there, I'm going to tell you, I'm married. I have two beautiful children. I live in New York, Long Island, and I'm just a regular person. I tell everybody sometimes we have interactions, and sometimes people, they're raised up a little. And I said, when I was born, I did not come out in a uniform. I am a father. I am a brother. I am a son. I am a dad. And I understand everybody's what they go through in life. So I would say, first of all, about me is probably I coached my son's baseball team from 4 years old up to 17, regular, all the kids. I look out. I do a lot of volunteering, and we'll get into that. I do a lot of public speaking on a lot of issues. And I would say I'm an activist to help people overcome, depression, suicidal anxiety. So. And I'm a regular guy. I'm a leader. I'm a mentor, and I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I'm a brother. And what you see is what you get. Sometimes you put a uniform, it's a little imposing, but I usually smile a lot, and I'm able to talk to people and bring them down and to realize that I have a job to do, and we're here to help everybody. So, is that good? One more?
That's great. We're not gonna let your secrets out that you're missing dinner right now.
Yeah.
So okay, let's get right into the nitty-gritty of it and let's talk about the aftermath of 9/11, because that's something everyone experienced to some degree. That's something everybody knows is traumatic. So they might have a little bit of an understanding about what you experienced, but describe that for us, the way that everything felt for you.
Well, it was a beautiful election day. I remember it was very, how can I say? It was, I think it was like 75 degrees, but for that time of year, it was very beautiful in New York. And I was getting ready, and I would have been down there originally because where I was working was right across the bridge. It was close to where it happened. And I remember I had to do a little later tour that day because I was driving my boss. We had election duty. And I'm watching TV, and you see the first plane, and then, you see a second plane, and then I jump in the car, and all I can remember is driving into work. I have a little distance to go, and the state police were closing off the exits, and only first responders were allowed in. And I got into work, and all I could see is the smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke. They sent us to a location to mobilize everybody from Brooklyn, and we were in that location, and right across the harbor all you saw is smoke, and everybody wanted to get down there to help somebody. I would tell you the anxiety was high because we're hearing rumors that how many people they can't find: firemen, police officers that we knew, civilians. We just wanted to get down there to help somebody. That's the whole. So that night I didn't get down there, but the next day I went down there with my boss, and I went to the site where the towers were. And if I tell you, it's surreal. It looked like a movie studio. All it was dust and metal, and I knew there's people still alive somewhere underneath that metal, and everybody was working hard. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of what we take from that is we wanted to help, and when they found somebody, everybody stopped, and very few people got pulled out of rubble. And what I can tell you is a lot of us that responded, that didn't get there, firemen, civilians that would live down there, police officers, you live with a lot of survivor guilt. I lost people I knew, some police officers I knew, died in the World Trade. And you take it, why, if I was down there, maybe I could help them. And so what I could tell everybody is it was for the pictures and videos you see in real life, it was surreal. It was horrific. Standing there, you couldn't believe that the building once was there, and all you saw was metal and big mounds, and everybody's trying to get in there, and we had to wait, and they had the lines to pull the rebel off, and it was this surreal. So it's something you take. And now, years later, a lot of my friends, co-workers, firemen, civilians that were down there are dying of 9/11 cancer, and I just went for my physical, and knock on wood, it came back pretty good. So I escaped another year. It's coming on the 20th anniversary. So, you remember it every time you go to the doctor's office, you take a physical, you worry about them, they tell you, you have cancer, or, you have something, serious lung issues. So I did get one thing from 9/11, sinus infections. I get them like 2, 3, 4, about 4 times a year, I get serious sinus infections. And I think I end up getting not full blown asthma. I don't really have asthma, but I have sinuses. So I get a lot of infections from that. That's that.
So something that most people don't know is that incident not only stays with you guys with the trauma and the memories, and as you think about it, you can experience the smells and the feeling of the dust and the sounds and the quiet when it shouldn't be that quiet, and just all of that stuff. You're also still reminded every single year because the potential health after effects are still with you. So you never get to let go of that particular day. And there are other situations that happen like that. And that's just one of many things that not just you, but all officers face every single day. What's a week like for you? The highs and the lows. What's a week on the job look like for you?
So I could tell you this. I came out of college, 21, going on 22, right into the police department. I grew up, only one in my family, no one ever was a police officer. I always wanted to help somebody. And I went to high school, went to St. John's University 4 years, and right into the police department. What I could tell you is from that incident, I would say I was starting to get a little distance in the beginning. I caught myself because you're 21, 22, you go into situations in a busy area at the time. It was 1990. It was a lot of crime. New York City has came back beautiful. It's going, we have some crime now, but it's still great. And as a young guy, you go into this and you go into a situation where I tell you a normal day would be like, you're 20, 21, 22, you're sheltered, maybe never seen anybody get been shot before. You're going to someone's shot. And your first instance is to help somebody, to stop the bleeding, to catch the person who did it. Then you might go to, I would say the worst is probably child abuse. We go to that. That stays with you, especially when you go and the children die, and that stays with you. And then I say you go to just accidents that maybe you were part of, a car accident, but you never been part of it, where you see people really seriously injured. And then, so a normal day back then, so I realized when I came home, my day off would be a different day off. You get off, and what I would do is I go to the gym, but I went later on. I would stay home, watch TV, and that's not me. And then I go out with my friends later on, but I stayed home down in the basement watching TV, and I realized that you just want to detach because you want to help everybody. That's what you came on, and that's what you do. And you see 99% of people you deal with in the community are very good, hardworking people, and they want you there. And sometimes you deal with 1% that's break the law. But what you want to do is save everybody. And I realize you get a Superman complex that you want to save everybody, and you realize you got to save yourself too and to make it. That you want to stop someone from being shot. If Mrs. Jones came to you and said, look, I'm afraid to come out of my house because they're selling drugs on my stoop. What do? You make sure you went over there and make sure Mrs. Jones' stoop was clear, because Mrs. Jones could be your grandmother, could be your mother coming to you. And that's what the job you did, and you took it to heart. And I'm going to say the connections, the bonds you make, sometimes it's not reported that way in the media, but you make a lot of very good connections with the community, and you lasting community relations that will last even when you get transferred to another place. You always go back and see them, and you have a lot of memories, and it's a great job. So a daily day now, I'm a supervisor, I'm a mentor, I run a anti-terrorism unit transit, and I could say I'm a leader. I have a lot of time on. I mentor, I motivate, and I go out and I make sure my men and women are safe out there, to make sure that the community that rides the trains are safe from terrorism and from crime. So it's a daily job, and I keep doing it till God tells me stop. That's why I realize it's a mission for me, and I love what I do.
No, you've been there a long time. We call you a lifer.
Yeah, long time. They kid with me all the time, my cops. Man, when you retire, who knows?
So you feel like it's much easier for you now to practice the self-care that you need than it was when you were on the streets?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's still hard because this summer was probably the most difficult summer I had in a long time in this police profession. And it's a career. It's a calling. And this summer was very daunting for all the men and women in New York City, probably all over the United States, all police officers, first responders, between the pandemic, people we knew getting very sick. We got sick, working, between some of the protests, some looting, some riots. But in the end, I know that we have a mission to help the 99% of people, that great people in the community, and that's what we do. So self-care, yes, I learned when I got into helping other police officers. I learned you have to do some kind of self-care. If it's walking, if it's just turning the lights off and meditating, something. So self-care came a lot easier as you get, as you get older, when you realize sometimes you gotta unplug. Everybody needs to unplug once in a while, even us. Take yourself and just recharge.
Even you, especially you, especially people in helping positions. Definitely. We haven't really started talking about even call it an epidemic of police suicide, but you kind of touched on the shifting public tide. I'm wondering if you might have anything to say about if the way the media is portraying the relationship with the police and society, and the way that there's that shift in feelings about police in the society. Do you feel like that is having an effect or influence on the number of policemen who are giving up and choosing to take their own lives?
So most of the people you deal with, they appreciate you. They say thank you. Again, maybe because I'm a boss, I hear more, and sometimes the cops, and I let my officers know that, you appreciate it. And most of the times people say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just that right now with everything they went through, some of the laws being changed, like I say, come on to help people. It's not about the money. First responders it's not about getting rich. Firemen, police officers, emergency service, EMS, sanitation, corrections, sheriffs. If I'm missing somebody, nurses. It's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about a passion, a career, a calling, and to help someone. So I would say for me, maybe I stay on because I want to make sure my officers are safe and sound, and I worry, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I'll just say, for the most part, it was very peaceful. Most of the stuff we dealt with in the summer, but there's a couple of occasions when there was looting going on, and it was a little scary. And for the young men and women out there, it's like me when I came on, realizing you're young, and you realize also, and I'm seeing people shot. I'm seeing people with domestic violence. I'm seeing children being abused. I'm seeing, I've seen babies, you're delivering a baby when you're still a baby yourself almost. I mean, you're not a baby, but it's something, maybe you're not a father yet or a mother. And you see a lot of good, and that makes you come back. And you see, like I say, we used to go to a baby's hospital, in the area, and we used to be Santa Claus and elves, and it was a children's AIDS hospital, and that's where you take. You go there and you visit, and you get a real bond with the young little children, and then you go back a month later and you find out they're not there no more. They're not here on the earth anymore, and that really takes a lot out of you, because you go out of the way and you love them, and the parents couldn't take them home because they need all the medical attention at the time in the care facility. So that stuff that's what you take. But for now, do I think it's harder for the men and women? Yes, I do. Do I think the media portrays it sometimes? Yes. But do I think in whole that they appreciate the police officers? Yes, I do. I just think sometimes it's easier to write a negative article than to write a positive article.
Right. Right.
But I think I would say the majority of the United States and the world appreciate the firemen, the police officers, the military. It's just it's unfortunate that sometimes you have one unfortunate incident that if they want to paint everybody in that light, and it's not that. We're not all the same. Sometimes some people shouldn't have been on this job. Sometimes some people shouldn't have been a doctor. Sometimes some people shouldn't have been a fireman. Sometimes they should have been a teacher, and they make a mistake, and we all pay for it. And they make whatever, and that's what I feel bad for the men and women that put on a uniform on that, because I would say almost all of them come on to help, and they're all mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and children, and they all love, cry, hurt, take this job home to what other stress they have at home, and they bottle up. And that's we talk later about what I do on the other end, but so I just think it's a little tougher for the men and women with some of the unfortunate incidents that happened, and the media sometimes doesn't write all the good stuff that the men and women do every day in and day out.
Right. Good stories don't sell.
I told that one time, yeah.
So again, perfect transition. Why don't we talk about your passion and your purpose and your cause?
All right. So I would say about 11 years ago, I went through the most trying time in my life, personal, professionally, and my mother died. And I was at a crossroads. And I I would say you could have went left or right, just like everybody normal. Some people go right and never, get in trouble with the law, and some people go left but always come back. Redemption is always there. So I went through a lot, and I found a purpose. Through the years, I found a purpose because when I went through a lot, who was there for me? God. At my lowest, I reached out. I read motivational books. Max Lucado write a lot of inspirational. And what my passion became now is, I do a podcast, a show. I want to say a show, weekly, and it's called Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. But we'll get back to that later. But what's it all about? And my passion, what I do, it's about giving hope, faith, inspiration, suicide awareness. So it brings me to a point where I was losing too many people I knew of all ranks to suicide. I was losing family members when I was a young little child, aunts and uncles to suicide. People, my friends, committed suicide. So I've seen it as an epidemic in all fields. Military, over 22 military veterans every day commit suicide. And then when it really gets hyped up as like a golf bit of celebrity or somebody who hits in a paper like front page, and everybody brings that. But I'll tell you what, everybody shares. Everybody shares happiness. We all have those emotions. Everybody shares sadness. So what did I do? There's a group that's independent from my police department. It's called PAPA. It's all run by active and retired members of service of NYPD. It's for NYPD, and we are trained, and we're trained professionals, and we're just like everybody else. We're active, which means active. We're still working, or we could be retired, and we help retired and active members of service. There's a line they call hotline if they're feeling they want to talk, they feel hopeless, helpless, withdrawn, feel like they can't go any further, need to talk to someone, maybe going through anxiety. They'll call this line, and we're on call for 24 hours. It's broken up, and we call a number, and we reach out to them, and we get them help. We talk to them. And I would say last year was a very trying year. We had 11 active members of service in NYPD committed suicide. This year, knock on wood, there's none. But we have a lot of retirees that commit suicide. And when you say you find your purpose, I found my purpose of helping. I tell everybody when they retire from military, fire department, nurses, doctors, firemen hit me up, the cops, they retire and they find out what's my purpose. What's my purpose? 6 months. I'm used to helping people. Now who am I helping? What's my identity? And you have to find a purpose, a passion. It could be anything. But your purpose, your identity is you. That's your purpose is you. Your identity is you. That was a uniform. That was a career, and it takes a lot out of you. But your identity is you. There's only one you. God only made one of each of us, and you are a star in His eyes. So when you talk that way, what is your purpose? So I realized my purpose was to reach out. So what I do, I was helping with Papa, with independent NYPD, but with the NYPD's blessing, they're on board with everything. We help, and I said, we're doing a lot, but then suicide. It was one incident, a chief that I knew. I worked for a long time, high-ranking chief. He committed suicide, and I just saw him like 2 months before that. And I just started doing my podcast before that, but there was other suicides that took a piece of me. I knew him, and even now, when you hear somebody that commits suicide, it's like the first thing is, what could we have done? So I do my podcast. I reach out. I give the phone numbers, Suicide National Hotline. I'll give it to you right now. For everybody, is 1-800-273-8255. And for NYPD, if you're working, is Papa 1-888-267-7267. All right, and I do it, and I started, and I continue, and like I said, the 95 episodes already. And what I realized, a lot of people will not acknowledge they watch it, but they do watch it. They need hope. They need help. They need inspiration. Everybody has bad days, but we should all have a bad life. So what I mean is life is a roller coaster. It's ups and downs, twists and turns. But in the end, you enjoy the ride. Even though you get sick on that roller coaster, sometimes it gets scared. In the end, we enjoy the ride. And I try to pass it along. And we're helping a lot of people between Papa, Suicide National Hotline. We put out all the numbers out there. NYPD helps a lot of people. But also, I believe my podcast, I wanted to say hello to Johnny Williams Lawrence. He's a co-host. He helps me sometimes. He was on last night. He's a co-worker. He's battling his old Goliath. He's battling cancer. So everybody out there wishes to say Johnny Williams Lawrence a prayer, and also Daphina Solomon, another police officer battling cancer. And then I gotta say hello to my DJ Brian. I gotta say hello to Brian. He's my right hand. He plays the music, but he's been in it from day one with me. And everybody just thinks he's about the music. No, he's in there with me. He sees what I do, how I help people. At a dime, they call, they send me a text, I call them right away. Everybody, they send me the number, I call them. I don't mind, I don't know you, but I'll talk to you. And that's what I want to get out. The message is just be there for people. Don't be the one to step on them. Just to be the one to put your hand out to help them up, because everybody's battling the battle. You might never know. They might smile, but inside they're broken. So, is that good?
Perfect.
I talk something too much.
After the show, on the YouTube channel, the Sahara Rising and Battle2be, the YouTube channel, we will post all of these phone numbers, all of these links, and I will post how you can get access to his show, because you don't want to miss it. He is coming up now on his 100th episode, and anyone who knows about podcasting, that 100th episode is golden. It is your magic marker for actually being dedicated, committed, and having a real legitimate podcast. No. So
thank you. But we're looking for a hall. We're gonna it's gonna be big. Hopefully, COVID. We're gonna do pandemic. We're gonna do a studio, a big studio. And I just want to tell you, I don't want to sell myself or the show. I don't. I just tell you, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling anxious, you need to smile, my show is the one. For the reason is, it's a roller coaster. We come in, we talk about life, anxiety, we motivate, we inspire. And then the second half is like no other second half. You leave smiling because we talk about songs you never knew the meaning. We do freestyle interactive questions, and we do virtual vacation. We travel all around without a passport with music. And we have it's a family. Keeping It Real, Steve Michael, for the people watching, it's a family. That a lot of people I never met in my life in person, but we're all like aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. It's a family. They come on every week. They set their alarm. And sometimes social media doesn't like positivity, and they want to keep us down, and they want to, not let you do positivity. But this world needs a little more positivity. So, and what you're doing, Krista, is amazing. What you're doing, and your story you told me about what you do is amazing. And I'm blessed that we're able to connect, because it is you're doing a lot of God's work on your end too, and you have a big heart also. So everybody, watch our podcast. She's a great human being. So that's all I can tell you. If you're a great human being, your podcast is great.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here with us tonight.
All right, thank you. And I say, coming up, 5 more episodes, 100, so 4 more than 100. I'll be on Monday with a special episode. It's going to be, I'm bringing Johnny Williams Lawrence in. He gets, every other week he does chemo on Tuesday, so he's a little down. So I want to bring him in this week and pop him. And it's going to be a random talk about life, about everything. It's going to be, can't miss, at 7 o'clock on Facebook page, Steve Mauriello. And you also can find me on YouTube page, Keeping It Real with Steve Michael. Go to it, hit the subscribe button, like it. And also I got a Facebook page, Keeping It Real with Steve Michael. I do a motivational quotes every day I put up there. So it's all about motivation. It's all about inspiring. Not every day is an up day. Believe me, not every day is a thumbs up. I tell everybody, thumbs up day is great. Thumbs in the middle is great, and thumbs down is no goodie. Too many thumbs down is not a good day, but if you have some thumbs in the middle, it's still a great day. So I want to say thank you, blessed. I'll come back anytime, and I'm definitely going to bring you on my show, Krista, if you're up to it. We're going to bring you on when I do, especially when I go to StreamYard, so I can put you on the screen.
Absolutely.
I'm learning. Thank you. It was a pleasure. And, for everybody out there who watches on my page, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael, please follow Krista on her podcast, please. And follow on Facebook. She's an amazing human being. She puts a lot of motivational quotes up on her own page, too. And for some reason, I don't know why we can't friend that. I don't know, but I think you might be saying it might be on private. It's not me, because public. I got people send me friend requests. And then that's the last thing I'll say. I have to go crazy. I always go crazy. Don't send me a friend request if it's Bitcoin, or if I accept a friend request and then all of a sudden you send me an inbox, say, did you hear about the package? The stimulus? What did you hear about federal grant? Don't scam me, please. I accept everybody because they have friends of friends, and I always accept because I'm thinking maybe they need help, and that's
I
why
second that emotion.
yeah. So I find out they use a lot of my friends have friends of friends, and they come on, and next thing you know, they're about to, some send you an email about some package of money and federal grant. You give you 50,000, you just get your 50,000. I'm like, oh,
Right?
goodbye, unfriend, goodbye. Don't come back down here. I'm not going to block you, but you're not going to be because I say that because what we do, we try to help everybody. We don't want to be victims too. So just be careful out there. If somebody sends you a friend request and the first thing they ask you about money, you got to unfriend them. Get rid of them because they're probably trying to steal your identity or try to take your money from you. All right. So just be careful with that. And Bitcoin, if you want to do it, you do it. I mean, it's not up to me, but they'll send you people and then next thing you know, it's all about money. And again, if I don't see someone face to face, I don't want to do enough business. So I said, how to give you a little craziness because I'm usually crazy on my show. I'm upbeat. I didn't have my coffee tonight, but again, I bless you for having me on the show. Success. Congratulations, episode number 3. Is amazing. And it's a passion, and you're going to look forward to doing it every week. It's part of your therapy because doing my show is therapy to me. It is helping other people, getting reaction. And you're going to get negativity along the way. I do. And at times it used to bother me. And then I say, the devil, they always put roadblocks when you're doing something right. Remember that. They always, and the people, and I'll say the last thing, the people who do that, they're not bad people. I call them potholes. Just like when you drive a car, the road was really nice at one time, right? And then you hit that pothole, you get a flat tire. Some people are really good people, just been through a lot. They become a pothole, which means at that time, the negative could bring you down. But again, in time, they get repaired and they become real good again. They're not bad people, but sometimes the potholes will bring you down, will bring negativity in your life that you don't need. So sometimes you have to drive a different route and you come back when it's paved and you could be friendly with them again. So that's my motivation. Is that good?
Drive around. I love
Drive
that.
around, or avoid the pothole. Otherwise, you get stuck and you miss your destiny in life. You're gonna end up changing a flat tire.
Yep.
And that's your destiny. And that's the last thing I'll say for everybody. A lot of people stress they don't have this, they don't have that. In this time in life, I should be this, I should be that. The anxiety leads to trauma. Trauma affects people 10 years later. It really comes out, they say. But what I tell everybody, we're in where we are. It might be stuck at one point, but you're in God's timeline where we're supposed to be. Because in patience, I have no patience. I learned to have a little. We all want to get from A to Z right away, but sometimes that's the wrong path. Sometimes you have to stay the path. It takes a little longer, but it's the right path to bring you to where you're supposed to be. And that's, who you are.
Right. Sometimes the long and winding road is where
I like that. That's a song. The long and winding road. I talked about the Simon and Garfunkel song last night, The Boxer. I talked about that later on my show because there's a line in there. There stands the boxer. And he says, I give in. He wants to quit, but then he remembers he's the boxer. And that's life. It doesn't matter how many times we get knocked down. It only matters how many times we get up. We all get knocked down. And that's what I remember that song. I hear it, and it brings chills when I think about the lyrics because we're all the boxers. Sometimes we box the champ of the world is life, and sometimes we shadow box ourselves. And that's most dangerous. We know each other. But you know what? As long as you dust yourself off, get back, and life go move forward, things will eventually turn around. That's all I can tell you. All right. Thumbs up. We good?
Have a great night.
Good night. How do you sign off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good night. I'm going to share it. Congratulations. Podcast 3. Subscribe to her. Subscribe to me. Keeping it real, Steve Michael, too. Please. I'll see you later. It was an honor and a pleasure being on your show.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us tonight at the Battle2be podcast. And for those of you that don't know, the Battle2be program is a trauma treatment program for military, police, firefighters, and other first responders, as well as victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and childhood abuse. So everything that the Battle2be program does is raising funds to cover the tuition and awareness activities that we do through our programs. So you're supporting this podcast and you're supporting Sahara Rising programs helps those who need trauma treatment have access to that. So I thank you so much for your participation tonight and for continuing to listen, like, and share our show. And if you have a story to tell and you would like to be a guest on the show, please feel free to message me on Facebook at Coach Krista Fee or at Facebook at Sahara Rising. And please follow the YouTube channel where this streams as Sahara Rising and Battle2be. Thank you so much. Again, episode 3. I will talk to you later.